Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining me today. If you've been here before, welcome back and thank you for coming back. Today I'm going to be reading chapter 6 from the book 12 Pillars, written by Jim Rohn and Chris Widener. Today's chapter is entitled, Surround Yourself with the Best People. Beginning of reading. Chapter 6. Surround yourself with the best people. Don't join an easy crowd, you won't grow. Go where the expectations and the demands to perform are high. It had been 3 weeks since Michael and Charlie met at the diner, and Michael wanted to visit so he could share his achievement. When he got to 12 Pillars, he parked near the workshop and walked around the back of the house by the pool like Charlie had told him to. There was old Charlie, standing next to the pool in a ray of sunlight, dressed in his coveralls, holding a pool cleaning net. "Hey, Charlie," Michael yelled from across the yard. "Well, hello there, Michael. You're a few minutes early, just in time to help me clean the pool." "Oh, you don't want me doing any kind of labor. I might break the pool." By now, Michael was walking around the end of the pool. It looked pretty clean to him. "That's okay. I'm almost done anyway. I am just getting the last few leaves from the bottom. Then I'll add a few chemicals and it'll be good to go." "Well, it looks pretty good to me," Michael said. "I did my best. So how are things?" "Pretty good. I have good news." "Good news is always good news," Charlie said. "Actually, 2 pieces of good news. One, Amy and I are doing even better. Tending to the garden, you know. And secondly, I wrote down my 100 goals in life. And I put them into the different categories, long-term, etc. It was pretty fun doing that." "I'll bet. It is always fun to dream and very motivating as well." "Yeah, especially about my family, my career, my income, and places I want to travel. It was really enlightening to do it." "How long did it take?" Charlie asked. "Oh, not long at all. Maybe an hour and a half." "Very good. So where is your top place to visit?" "Oh, that was easy. Italy. I have always wanted to go there. All the history, the architecture, the art, the culture, the food. I can't wait." But what was most amazing, and you said this would happen, is that when I wrote it down, my mind started thinking about how to make it happen. Once I crystallized the goal, my mind started trying to make it a reality. "That's the way it works. Congratulations, Michael." "Thanks. I owe it to Mr. Davis's Pillars of Success, via you, of course." "Yes, he knows a thing or two about success," Charlie said while continuing to stir the net through the water. Every few strokes, he would pull the net out and shake the contents into a bin he had by him. "So here I am, ready for the next pillar of success. Can you teach them to me?" "I would be happy to." Charlie wedged the net to the bottom of the pool and then placed his hands on the top of the pool and his chin on his hands, resting it there while thinking. "Let's see. How about this one? Surround yourself with the best people." "Okay. What does that mean? Buy expensive things?" "No, not the best things. The best people. Surround yourself with winners, successful people who exhibit and live consistent to values and skills you want to acquire and develop. You see, the people in your life have an amazing power to influence your destiny. They have a deep effect on you. Mr. Davis says that you must constantly ask yourself these questions. Who am I around? What effect are they having on me? What have they got me reading? What have they got me saying? Where do they have me going? What do they have me thinking? And most importantly, what do they have me becoming?" Then ask yourself the big question, is that okay? So you were talking about my friends, your spouse, your coworkers, and your family, all of the people we surround ourselves with. It is important to ask how they affect us. Since you mentioned your friends, let's start there. "Okay, what do you mean?" "Well, they have a tremendous effect on you. Let's take a look at them. Tell me about your 3 closest friends." "That's easy because we just went out last Friday. There's John, Clark, and Tom. We have been friends since the 3rd grade. We go out almost every single Friday night." "And what do they do for a living?" "What do they do for fun?" "What do they like?" Charlie asked. "Let's see. John is in retail. He was going to college but didn't like the structure, so he dropped out." "Does he like his current job better than he did the structure?" "Good point. No, he hates his job. But he's been there for over a decade and makes enough to cover his expenses. Kind of hard to quit now. In the corporate world, they call that the golden handcuffs. I'd have a hard time using that term for the salary he probably makes." "Tell me about Clark." "Clark, well, he makes John look good. At least John has a job. Clark has been unemployed for about 2 years. Just can't find anything he likes or that pays what he wants to make." "I see," said Charlie, sounding unimpressed. "And Tom?" "Tom is probably my best friend. We have been since we met. We like the same things, enjoy hobbies together, etc., but it can be hard at times because he has quite a temper. A temper? Yeah, he can blow a stack at the drop of a hat. Yes, I see. Well, I think that you may need to make some adjustments in your friendships. You mean give up my friends? I wouldn't say that yet, but what I am saying is that when you ask yourself the question, what effect do my friends have on me? You've got to be willing to take an honest look at what kind of influence they currently have on you. In other words, are they helping you grow in the direction you want? What if keeping your associations the same, not making room for expanding any new associations, or limiting your current relationships meant the difference in becoming what you want and achieving the life of your dreams for you and your family? Do you really think my friends are holding me back? Well, let's take a look at it. When we go back to the question I asked before, what effect are they having on me? To be more specific on this, you have to ask, where do they have me going? What are we spending our time doing? If you spend every Friday night out drinking with your friends, griping about how you hate your jobs, bosses, and how broke you all are, what kind of influence is that? When you leave, do you feel inspired to be more and do more, to pursue your goals with a greater passion, or does it leave you feeling negative, dreading the next workday? When you have to get up and spend another day at the office with that boss you're not too fond of anyway. Influence is so subtle. It's like a nudge, and each time you get together, there's one more nudge in the wrong direction, toward the wrong attitudes down the path you don't want to be on. Michael, I know this is a touchy subject, and so many of us have friends who are nice people, often who intend well, but if the effect they have on us is negative, then it is up to us to make those tough choices in an effort to protect ourselves from the wrong influences. Michael sat for a moment, just staring at Charlie. Michael? Finally, Michael snapped to. I guess I had never thought of it that way before. I'd never given thought to how they were and how that might affect me. Most people don't, Michael, so don't feel badly. But there are simple questions that can have a powerful influence on how your life turns out. Let me teach you one of Mr. Davis's principles that is very effective at helping people decide about their relationships. You see, every relationship you have is an association, and each association has either a positive, neutral, or negative effect on you. So a person who wants to achieve success has to constantly make a determination about what kind of relationships it is and how to approach that relationship. How do you do that, Michael asked. It is simple, really. You place every person you meet into one of three categories: disassociation, limited association, or expanded association. You simply ask yourself whether each person is someone you should stop associating, limit your association with, or expand your association. So, I should do that with my friends? That's for you to decide, Michael. I would certainly say that given their life situation and such, that you don't want to expand your association with them. You're going in an opposite direction. You have then to decide if you should limit your association with them or even disassociate with them. How do I decide that? Let me put it this way, Michael. One of the things I have to do to keep this pool clean is to keep the pH levels balanced by adding the right chemicals in the right amounts. Now, if I add too much of one chemical, the water might look good on the surface, but you won't be able to swim in it because it'll burn your eyes. If I don't add enough of a chemical, then the water starts to produce algae and turn green, or worse yet, brown. Relationships and associations are the same way. Ask yourself what amount of time with each person will challenge you to become the kind of person you want. If the answer is eliminating the time you spend, then you need to consider disassociating with them. Michael, life is rarely simple, and at times we are faced with difficult decisions that, if we avoid, can cost us dearly in the future. But they have been our friends for decades, Michael argued. Are they friends of convenience? Charlie asked. Friends of convenience? I don't get it. I wonder if they aren't your friends because it was easier to continue the relationship with them than it was to pursue new relationships. Again, silence from Michael. Charlie was really pushing buttons now. Charlie continued. All along the path of life, you had points where you could have chosen to develop new relationships. You still can. Successful people look for relationships with other successful people who will push them, challenge them, and encourage them to become better. So how do you find people like that? I am glad you asked, because it reminds me of something Mr. Davis says all the time. He says, to attract attractive people, you must be attractive. To attract powerful people, you must be powerful. To attract committed people, you must be committed. Instead of going to work on them, go to work on yourself. If you can become, you attract. So it goes back to personal development. By golly, I think you're getting it, Charlie said with a beaming smile. But no attractive, successful people are going to want to hang around me. You are right in one sense. The world's richest man won't want to spend his vacation with you based on how you are now, but you can begin to expand your relationships over time to include people you admire. The more successful you become, the more successful the people you will be able to be in relationship with. Spend some time thinking about successful people you know and work with. Chances are that the reason they don't give you the time of day now is because they think you are stuck or have no desire to improve. If you showed some ambition, then they would probably be happy to begin to let you into the world. Do you think so? I do. I've seen it all my life. Mr. Davis regularly takes a liking to young, up-and-coming business people. They aren't at his level yet, but he likes that they want to be. That gives him the impetus to spend time with them and invest his life into theirs. Michael was deep in thought about the people he admired and wished he could spend time with. Charlie interrupted his thought. Do you know what happens when you begin to hang around and associate with more successful people? What? A few things. First of all, you open yourself up to all sorts of new knowledge. Knowledge about how the world works, how business works, how to better your relationships. Second, you open up yourself to a vast new network. Their friends become your friends. Soon, your whole business and sphere of influence has changed for the better. And lastly, and most importantly, your attitude changes. And 99% of life is attitude, Michael. And my friends determine my attitude? It isn't that they determine your attitude. You determine your attitude. But it's like Mr. Davis always says, attitude is greatly shaped by influence and association. What does he mean by that? Michael asked. It is simple, really. Who you hang around with will be a major determining factor in what your attitude becomes. Think about it. You spend time with them and share your life with them. And when you interact with them, all your attitudes intermingle and shape one another. If the people you spend time with don't have attitudes that are positive, they will rub off on you and keep you from becoming all that you can become. So I can't have positive attitude if I spend time with my old friends? Let's put it this way. 2 things to think about. First, I have never seen anyone who's successful who spent much time with people who have bad attitudes. They surround themselves with winners, optimists, and people with positive attitudes. And secondly, everything you have done up until now and everybody you've associated with has added to your current situation. In other words, maybe if you change your associations, the results in your life and career would change. Michael knew in his heart that Charlie was right, but he didn't want him to be. Charlie spoke again. Michael, leaving people behind is hard. I know. I've had to do it myself. But I like to think of it this way. Life is a long journey, and we meet people all along the way. Some of those people will go the whole journey with us. Some will only take portions of the journey with us. Some will join us for a long time. Others will come and go. Now imagine if you were on a trip and someone started out with you, but wasn't much help. Would you want them to continue on the journey with you? Of course not. We have the freedom and responsibility to determine who we associate with, and that will have a big impact on how well our journey goes. Boy, Charlie, I feel like I am learning so much. I have never heard these things before, and I admit they're not easy words to hear, but they make sense. I just wish I had learned these lessons before. Where has Mr. Davis been my whole life? At this last part, Michael was smiling. Oh, Mr. Davis has been around, but perhaps you just weren't ready. Ready? Yes, ready. Mr. Davis says that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Now you are ready. Your car stopped here one day, and I was available to teach you Mr. Davis's 12 pillars of success. Well, I am ready to learn now, that's for sure. That's the end of Chapter 6, titled Surround Yourself with the Best People. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'll have another video up around Chapter 7 very soon. If you feel like there's value added to you today, please share this with your friends, like and comment. Do you have any suggestions on books that you'd like to have read or have changed your life personally? Please leave them in the comments. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.